guys, it's Kales, and here are some books to read if you're a Ravenclaw. Thank you for waiting so patiently for this video, Ravenclaws, but I finally have 10 books that you should read if you are a Ravenclaw, and here they are. The first book that you should read if you're a Ravenclaw, I have to mention The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. And The Naturals is this awesome series for teens, like Criminal Minds for teens is what it really is. These kids are naturals at profiling, lie detectors, calculators, like they just do it all in their head, and it's something that comes easily to them. I think Ravenclaws would enjoy this book because they can relate to a lot of the characters, and the variety of skills that these characters have are all intellectual and intuitive, and it's very, very interesting how they portray those traits into this mystery, and I'm excited to continue the series. There's 4 books in this series, and it's definitely interesting. The next book you Ravenclaws need to read is An Abundance of Katherines, and I put this particular John Green book on here because Colin, the main character, has dated 17 Katherines, but that's not the reason Ravenclaws would like it. The reason is that Colin considers himself a protege, not a genius. He's a child prodigy who was really smart as a kid because he was very fast at getting all those things, but then everybody else caught up. So his theory is that he was never really smarter than anybody else, he just learned all those things faster. And so it's a very interesting dynamic of him trying to use that smarts and trying to feel like that he is still smart, and how he tries to come up with a formula for whether or not a relationship is going to work. So I think Ravenclaws would really appreciate the humor in this one and how to use your intelligence in a different way. Then I put The Giver by Lewis Lowry on here because I think that Ravenclaws need to read this book because it is something that Ravenclaws can learn from. The Giver is about this society where children are given an occupation at 16 and an apprenticeship, and this one child is given to the Giver, where he is to collect all the memories of the town that have been extracted from people, such as color and sadness and joy. And I think that this society is very intellectual, and I think that Ravenclaws can really learn from this particular book and how they need to be sometimes a little bit more balanced, and that the mind is not all where it's at. Then I picked Peter and the Starcatchers because I thought this would be a fun, imaginative book for Ravenclaws, because as we know, Ravenclaws have different levels of intelligence, and I think that J.M. Barrie and the world that he created with Peter Pan and Neverland is a fantastic example of intelligence on a creative level. And to me, Peter and the Starcatcher is a great example of retelling that story and giving Peter Pan an origin story, which I love. Not only that, but Peter Pan himself, or the child that becomes Peter Pan, is a intellectual, clever little boy who is able to use his smarts to get himself through the story, as well as the lead character Molly, who's his friend that he finds on this journey as well. Both of them are clever individuals, and like I said, I think this is a different level of intelligence that Ravenclaws could enjoy. Next I have So You Want to Be a Wizard, which again has the same kind of imaginative sense, and I wanted to put it on here because it's like an instructional book. These two kids find an instructional book on how to be a wizard, and it kind of gets them into a ton of trouble. It's a great series, and I believe that Ravenclaws will really enjoy the instructions behind it, but also showing how your smarts can get you out of trouble, but it can also get you into trouble. Then I had to put one of my favorite mysteries of all time on here, and that's The Westing Game. I love this book. It's a wonderful standalone book, which is kind of like Clue, believe it or not, and it is about this group of people who are included in Mr. Westing's will, and they have to figure out the clues that are in that will to figure out where's the money, who did what, and it's a great, wonderful middle reader whodunit, but it's a classic too, which I love, and it's been turned into plays and movies, and I think you guys need to go back and read the book and see if you can solve the puzzle too, because I bet some Ravenclaws would have a really fun time with this one. Then I want to put the name of this book as Secret on here because, again, I think this plays into the imaginative nature of Ravenclaws and how they can solve riddles and just interpret things differently, and how they look at the world in a different way than some of other houses do. The name of this book is Secret. It has a great deal of mystery in it and intrigue, but told in a very fun, different manner, and I think that Ravenclaws will again enjoy the puzzle that is woven throughout this book, as well as the imaginative mind that put it together. Next, I have Signs of You by Emily Franz. I've talked about how much I enjoy this book. This book centers around a teenage girl who loses her mother and is part of this support group at her school. And then one day, she and her support group start seeing ghosts of their loved ones. So they go on this journey to find this ancient manuscript that they all think they touched in order to get these abilities. And why I think Ravenclaws will like this book is not only for the sentimentality, which I know Ravenclaws normally aren't, but they have feelings too. I think they'll enjoy the level of friendship that's here, but also the time that they take to do their research and really try and get to know the puzzle behind this mystery and solve it, as well as the history behind this. I think Ravenclaws would really enjoy the research and what Emily Franz did to include this cool old myth and put it into a new spin. Then I have to put on here one of my absolute favorite series, and that is The Heist Society by KalesKorner. This is a great story about a group of teens who are art thieves. Their entire family is art thieves, and it's hilarious because they themselves get caught up in their own heist. The lead girl is a character named Kat, who's a thief. What can be better? Truly, it's cheeky and fun, but again, these kids are smart because they're having to outsmart these adults in order to get this precious art, or return said precious art. You don't know what these kids are up to, and it's a ton of fun. Also, there's a lot of art history in here that some of those history nerds might like as well. Plus, you get to travel all around the world as they go to different museums throughout the series, which I love. Finally, this book is for all you Luna type Ravenclaws out there, and I had to pick Stargirl by Jerry Spinelli, which is one of my absolute favorite books of all time. I love this book. Stargirl to me is the quintessential Luna Lovegood. When I first got introduced to Luna Lovegood in Order of the Phoenix, I was like, oh my god, she's Stargirl. And Stargirl is about this girl named Stargirl who comes to this school, and she's just a little different. She dresses in different clothes every day. Her parents are costumers, and about this boy who tries to normalize her and tries to date her and love her, but not necessarily in the way that she needs. It's about being yourself and being unique, and how that brings its own level of intelligence. It might be weird, but it's can be really smart too. That being said, these are some recommendations for you Ravenclaws. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments below, and if you have any other recommendations for Ravenclaws. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys think. Until next time, guys. Bye! I would say that I was probably a hat stall of sorts. I know I am a Gryffindor, but my whole life I thought I was a Ravenclaw, so it's okay. I gotta have a little Hermione Ravenclawness in me, which is okay. Yeah.